Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance. We are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Today we hit double digits, week 10, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Baltimore Ravens. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top.
Nothing on the scoreboard, 0-0 as the offense gets ready to take over the football. On the ground, it's the rookie from Alabama. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
2nd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Knighton. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Throwing is Jackson. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. One heck of a 3rd down conversion, 33 yards. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. Does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Simply not much more you can ask out of your running back. Over 100 yards and the 3 touchdowns.
And for an old coot like me, I loved it because he did it on the ground. A running back taking control of the game. That's what I like to see.
Hold on. An old coot?
Coot, C-O-O-T.
All right, I'll look that up later.
Hey, report! Report!
Lamar going to give this to Ali. And a good burst there right from the start as he'll get this one out near the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Report! Shut up!
On first down, Knighton. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Up the middle they go. Knighton. We got a pause following the play because it appears a member of the Bengals in some discomfort. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. They go play action now. Jackson that escapes the sack. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down. Well, you know, paramount for this defense is trying to keep Lamar Jackson somewhat contained when he tries to run. They did a pretty good job of it there.
And you know what's so difficult for every defense that has to prepare for Lamar Jackson? you have to think and play at the same time. And I know that sounds like something you're supposed to do, but when you have to think about your assignments against him, it often slows down your feet. You don't move as fast. You've got to be prepared for this guy every step of the way and then try to match his athleticism.
It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on second down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for a first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
Here's Jackson to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Well, following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on fourth. Jackson now. He'll try to do it himself. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. They get 6 yards going for it on fourth, and now it's first and goal.
Well, that's a nice job right there. He's looking downfield, but with no one open, he takes off and tries to run for it. He gets to the sidelines and gets out of bounds for the first down.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
On second and goal, they'll give it to him again. And he stopped immediately there. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
It's now third and goal.
We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession, as they'll see what they can do on third and goal.
Sit up! Report! Report! Sit up!
From the gun, it's Jackson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on third down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
And his kick is indeed good. And the Ravens strike first at 3's in. So pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat. Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They are, for the moment, the best team in football, 9-0 entering play here. And, Charles, I don't know if we'd call them a surprise 9-0, but the way that they have been winning definitely opened up a lot of eyes around the NFL.
Well, what we've seen from them so far this season, you can't stop them on offense. You can't score on them on defense. So, to me, if you're going to play against them, you have to bring your best game and hope they throw a clunker in that day to give yourself a chance.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
That was well played there. Seven blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a second and 11. Now it's Jackson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Nice shot. Sit hot. Nice shot.
To throw is Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Jackson to Andrews on that one. First down, Baltimore.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now it's Jackson. And quick throw here, that's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Go right here.
Now Jackson. Now a run here. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Demetrius Knight. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Throwing on second and long. Jackson. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
And that's going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's fourth down.
Well, we couldn't count any yardage on that one, didn't we? That was truly third and a mile, wasn't it?
It was. I thought they might just go underneath, but they didn't. They wanted to get the first down there.
Yeah, they tried to pick up the huge chunk unsuccessfully. I'm with you. I would have tried to take some yardage just to gain some field position.
And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. With it is Brown. Officially just 27 yards there on the clock. And the Bengals will take over here first and 10. The Bengals offense and their quarterback coming out for their second drive. Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room. Jackson. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Shamar Stewart. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
And we all know how talented this guy is who's calling the signals for him. But even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Jackson. Now he'll tuck this and run. Pretty nice gain on the scramble. Gets him 12 yards. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Now a 3rd and 6. Here's Jackson. And he'll be hit as He releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try to figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Give him 11. Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Well, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off, and try and chip someone at the second level.
It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game.
Hey, Alpha, sit on! You! Sit on! Sit on!
They'll run on first down. Knighton. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders are filling their proper gaps at just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach? When I click off this film, I better see 11 jerseys in the picture going after the ball carrier.
Throw, caught by Flowers. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And that's going to make it third down and less than a yard. First down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Back to throw. Jackson. There's a quick throw caught by Andrews. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. A 14-yard pickup. That's 14 yards on 2 straight plays.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
On first down, Knighton. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Sit on! Sit on! Got in! Got a shot!
From the 36, Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Well, they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down. needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th.
Oh, ready?
1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Go.
Jackson's going to try the sneak. But he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 40-yard line. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. A new lease on life after the 4th down conversion. Here's 1st and 10.
Hey, report.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
180. Sit hard. Middle. Sit hard.
And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Yo. Cut.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
For that last run for a 1st down, it really should be the last draw for the defense. I don't care how many they've had in the box. They need to add more people.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal.
Finish it.
He'll try to run this one in. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Second and goal at the Bengals 3-yard line.
Finish it on. 180.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews with career touchdown number 91. He joins a group that includes Tony Dorsett and Isaac Bruce, among others. And the Ravens put together a 4th quarter drive to take the lead. Well, their defense did the job. They got the turnover on downs. Now what can the offense do as they take possession?
One word. 180. Get on. 180. Get on.
They'll run on 1st down. Knighton. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. From the 44-yard line, here's a 2nd and 7.
Alpha, sit on. 180. 180.
They go play action with Jackson. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. here at the 35-yard line. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jackson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And now here comes the third of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 6. Straight ahead they go with Ali. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line.
A gain of 15 yards. That's good for a Baltimore first down. 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off.
What are you?
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
13.
They'll go back to Ali. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And he has the Ravens 1st down, and it would appear that that's going to be the one to do it. It's a gain of 7, and that should just about do it.
Some good strong running right there, some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown. And Charles, they continue to have trouble stopping him as he's into the end zone yet again.
Yeah, that's multiple series now that have ended with him in the end zone. A perfect plan on how to utilize him best when they get in close.
Well, that second half, Charles, a little bit different from the first. Not only did we have the lead change after intermission, but they were able to pitch the shutout in the second half and get an impressive victory.
And what's the old expression? That's not quite how I saw it playing out in my head. You know they didn't expect this at all. As you mentioned, went into the half with the lead. Losing the game is one thing. Getting shut out in the second half, that's a surprise.
So for the Ravens, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.